Holla! Happy Blessed Thursday! Good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. I was a minute late today. I was yakking. I was a minute late. We're talking about, we've got so many different things going on right now. We are updating our YouTube page. We're creating a new Instagram. Is it a page? Instagram feed? Instagram profile? Is that what it is?
We're IGing, y'all. We're IGing.
Deanna, good morning. Hootsek, good morning. Amy, good morning. So we have tons of things. We have a new website coming in.
It's technically there.
It's technically there. So we have so many fun irons in the fire. No wonder it feels like my head is in a fishbowl. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You guys are fantastic. We've got Stacy. I'm not supposed to do that. We've got Kimberly, Carrie, good morning. Amy, good morning. Carrie, good morning, pretty lady. Thank you. You're so kind. Jackie, good morning. Lisa, Dawn, Amy, happy Friday Eve. I am feeling that. Corey, good morning, coach. Good morning, Corey. Marcia, good morning. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nice warm cup of Joe. I've got my fun shirt on. What does it say? I could read it before, but now there's a block there. Believe in yourself. Get inspired. Inspire others. Shelly, good morning. Shelly, good morning. I love it, my friends. I love it. This whole week has had such amazing content. The feedback from you guys has been amazing. You guys. Becca, good morning. Dina, good morning. And I just kind of want to keep the ball rolling. I feel like yesterday I thought about Coffee Talk and some of the conversation that we had all day long. And I just started to think about the culture that has been created and how we've become, and it's true, we've become a little bit weak and a little bit afraid to say no. Who do we have? Chuck. Whoa, Chuck's got the new website up there. Kim, good morning. Corey, good morning. Listening as I drive in. I've missed you this week. Well, I've missed you too, so I'm glad you can listen. Shayna, good morning. Shelly, good morning. So now, if you want to watch this on YouTube, you can't watch it live, but as soon as it's done, we upload it to our YouTube, and you can watch it on the big screen if you have a smart TV. Sue, good morning. Happy Blur's Day. Ditterville, good morning. I love it. Shayna, good morning. Alyssa, Tammy, happy Blur's Day. All right, I got to get down to business here. So the title of today's video, Julie, good morning, is it really okay to say no? Now, I was going to go find my book. I didn't do that. I will find it. Maybe we'll even dive into that over the next couple of weeks. And I just think it's called Boundaries. Great book. I read it at the end of a previous relationship because I felt like I had no boundaries and I felt very lost, and I didn't feel like it was okay for me to say no. I didn't feel like it was okay for me to live my own life and make my own choices. And it was a really tough time in my life. And after listening to some of you guys yesterday, I feel like some of you are caught in some of those, those wheels right now. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Is it okay to say no? Absolutely. Yes, it is okay to say no. Now, that's a two-way street. When somebody says no to you, how do you react? Because you're going to get, everything is a reflection. Everything is a reflection. If you don't like somebody telling you no, how do you think someone is going to feel when you tell them no? So it always has to start with you. You have to be okay with that. Charlie, hello. Susan, good morning. Our culture has become so entitled, and we are just as guilty. I know I'm just as guilty. When I want to make plans or I want to do something, I don't want anybody to tell me no. Now, I've gotten much better with that over the years, but our culture has become entitled. We feel like nobody should ever tell us no. You know, when we go to a restaurant or when we go, whatever, wherever it may be, we never want to be told no. We always want to get what we want when we want it. And when we don't, let's just admit it. We kind of throw a little bit of a fit. We throw a fit. I know if you work at school or if you have children, you probably deal with this quite a bit, right? Like your kids never want to hear no. Students never want to hear no. If you own or manage any kind of business, nobody ever wants to hear no. It's crazy. It's so crazy. People are now offended when we tell them no. We start to carry shame and guilt. Right? We start to carry shame and guilt if we have to tell somebody no. So what do? We usually lie about why it is we can't do something, why it is we don't want to do something. We lie so that we don't have to feel shame and guilt, even though there should be shame and guilt because we're telling a lie, but because we don't want to make somebody else feel bad by telling them no. How did we get here? How did we get to this point? Because nobody sets boundaries anymore. Nobody wants to set a boundary. People are like, what can I say? Here's a wonderful thing to say. If somebody asks you to do something, it's as simple as this. No, thank you. That's not a part of my journey today. No, thank you. That's not a part of my journey right now. And then if there's a little bit like, oh, come on. Here's where I have started to go with this. And I've used it on Chuck a couple times jokingly, but I say, I don't give in to peer pressure anymore. I haven't for a long time. It's okay to say that. If somebody is trying to push you into doing something, that is peer pressure. Peer pressure doesn't stop just because you're not a teenager anymore. Peer pressure can go on through life. It can go on into your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Have you ever been peer pressured by a grandma or a mother to eat more food? It's okay to say no. I know you don't want to tell that person no, but it's okay to say, Grandma, this isn't a part of my journey right now. Be honest. There is nothing better than being honest. No, thank you. I'm not drinking right now. No, thank you. I need to take a break from sugar. No, thank you. I'm okay. I ate before I got here. It's okay to do those things. Michelle, hello. Yesterday, Charlie shared with us how she was at a party over the weekend and everybody's gathered around the cake and ice cream, and she didn't partake or didn't want to partake, and there was a little bit of teasing and poking involved. As Coach Chuck says, take your power back. Take your power back. And she felt alone because she wasn't partaking. Lisa shared with us how she feels alone because she's not drinking. I wanna dig a little deeper into this. You go to a party, you walk into a room, and they have pornography playing on the TV. Do you have any problem at all saying no and walking out of that room? No, you probably don't. You're probably like, holy crap, what is going on here? Why do we look at cake and ice cream any different? Because it's a social norm? You walk into a room and people are sitting around.
What's funny about that?
What's funny about that?
Do you know what people call cake and ice cream now?
What do people call cake and ice cream?
Food porn.
Food porn.
Isn't that funny?
Yes, it's funny, but it's not funny. Right. You walk into a room and people are sitting around doing drugs. Are you going to feel pressured to sit down with them and do drugs with them? No. What do? We leave. We get the heck out of there. Why do we feel it is any different for food and alcohol? Pressure is pressure. A drug is a drug. Food might be your drug of choice. Nobody gets to tell you that food doesn't affect you the same way as pornography does because they don't know what it's doing to you. Nobody gets to tell you that alcohol is not doing the same thing to you as doing drugs. They don't get to decide that for you. Only you know how those things affect you. You only know the pull it is to have those things. Charlie, good point, right? I mean, it's crazy. Nobody gets to decide for you how those things affect your life or how deeply you are involved with those things. You might feel that you can't be around cake and ice cream right now because you can't control yourself. Nobody gets to tell you it's okay to have a little piece. Nobody gets to decide that boundary for you. You know, this weekend I was with a group of friends and they offered me a cocktail and I said, no, thank you. And they were, Deanna, they were very kind and was like, okay, I just wanted to ask. And we started talking about food and there was some sort of food that they said, you know what? And I just don't eat it because I can't stop. That is why I don't consume alcohol. I can't stop at one. I don't want to stop at one. If I open a bottle of wine, I want to drink the whole bottle of wine. That's why right now I'm abstaining from it. When the time is right, I might have a glass, but I'm not going to do it until I feel I have the power. Now, Chuck and I had cocktails on our vacation. Before that, I went 100 and I don't even know, 70 or 80 some days, I don't even know, without having any. Why? Because I still did not feel like I had control. Now I'm back up to, I don't know, 50 days of being alcohol free. Why haven't I had it? I don't feel like I yet have control. I don't want just a glass. I want to drink the bottle. That's just where it is. You might not get that, but you might not be able to sit down and have a sliver of cake. You might have to sit down and eat the whole half a cake. You might not be able to have a serving of chips. You might have to sit down and eat the whole bag of chips. So you understand where I'm coming from. We all have something different that maybe has control of us that we don't have control over. Nobody gets to tell you how to react with it. Nobody gets to tell you it's okay to have one. Nobody has the power to tell you that because they don't know where you're at in that journey. Lori, maybe we should look at by us saying no, just maybe we can inspire someone else who wanted to say no too, but isn't feeling strong themselves. Yes. Yesterday, I was talking about being that one person in the room. You shouldn't feel alone. You should feel empowered. You should feel empowered. You're not part of like everybody's doing this, so we all have to do it. I'm so proud of you for saying no. Now, again, you might not always say no. It doesn't mean I'm not proud of you. But if saying no is something that you feel strongly about, I'm super proud of you. Susan, the older I get, the easier it is to say no to peer pressure. Same here. Same here. I almost think it's funny. I think it's almost funny that there is still peer pressure as we get older, but saying, I haven't given in to peer pressure in many years now, many months, because it's true. It's so true. Tammy, I never understood why some people have an issue if I don't want to drink when they are drinking. What's the big deal? Here's the issue. It's not you, Tammy. It has nothing to do with the fact that you aren't drinking. It actually has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. They don't want to drink alone. They don't want to feel like they are doing something bad. That's their feelings, though. That's their journey. It actually has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You just happen to be there in that moment. You happen to be something that they are trying to fight. You are some sort of reflection for them, and they are not ready to face that mirror. But it honestly has nothing to do with you. So when I say stay in your own lane, I really mean stay in your own lane, because any choice you're making based on somebody else, they don't really, tomorrow when they wake up, they're not going to care what you did or didn't do. They're going to care about what they did and didn't do. It really has nothing to do with you. I want to talk about our children. We are so strong in telling our children to say no. We are so strong in telling our children, if you feel like you're in a bad place, call me. I will be right there. Now, why don't our children heed that advice? Because we don't heed that advice. Because they have watched us over the years give in to peer pressure. You think they haven't? You think they haven't? I want you to think really hard about the past 5 years. What have your children seen? Oh, come on, just have that cookie. Oh, come on, just have that piece of cake. Come on, just have that glass of wine. They have seen more than you probably even realize because it hasn't been on your radar. If you want your children to do and act a certain way, you're going to have to set that example for them. Chuck, there's more peer pressure around food and alcohol. Hold on. More peer pressure around food and alcohol more than ever because society is more unhealthy than ever. Yes, absolutely. Lisa, I love it. Charlie, wow, right? We want our kids to be a certain way. We want our kids to stand up and be strong. But are we showing them that? Are you and your spouse strong for each other? Or is it your spouse peer pressuring you to do something and your kids sitting on the couch watching this happen? How do you think they're going to be in a social setting? They've only probably seen one way. That's why we don't sit there and talk about our weight in front of our daughters. We don't sit there and shame ourselves in front of our daughters. But if you're doing it when you're hiding out in the bathroom and you think they don't know, of course they know. They know, they feel it, they see it. So whatever you are telling your children, you have to make sure you're telling it to yourself first. You have to make sure you're living that line. It's so easy to tell others and then not do it ourselves. So here's another one. Charlie, going to that party this weekend, and even for us, there's always that peer pressure. How have you conditioned people to treat you? When you've gone to these parties in the past and you've said no, and maybe it's been like, no, I'm not doing that right now. And they say, oh, come on, just a little piece. I'll bet you gave in. So now you've conditioned people to ask and push because you've given in. And it probably wasn't that hard, right? Like, twist my arm. Yes, okay, I'll have a little bit. You've conditioned them to know that if they poke you a little bit, that you're going to give in. And they might think that you want that. You have to now recondition. Sorry, I'm choking on air. You have to recondition them that when you say no, it means no. It means no, that it's a boundary you set. If these people are close to you, you can reach out before a party and say, in the past, I've probably given in. I'm really serious about my health right now. Don't throw your weight in there. I'm really serious about my health right now. Things are not going the way I want. I'm going to decline anything, any food, any sweets and alcohol today. Please don't take offense. I'm really working on fixing myself right now. And the people who love you and support you will totally understand. And again, you don't have to give everybody an explanation. No, that's not a part of my journey today. That's it. You don't owe people explanations. Charlie said yes, and I'm sure a lot of people have been there. I've done it too. When we've gone out, I'm not going to drink, and we get there, oh yeah, all right, twist my arm, fill it up. Of course, we've conditioned people to do that for us. Carrie, is it bad to respond with, why does it bother you so much that I'm not drinking? I don't think it's bad.
Doesn't matter.
I think, yeah.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, what answer are you hoping that you get from them? I would say that's not a part of my journey right now. And if they keep going with it, it's not a part of my journey. You don't owe anybody anything.
Guys, remember, people's opinions are like buttholes.
Everybody's got one.
And most of them stink.
I think when you say, why does it bother you so much that I'm not drinking? That person is not ready to put that mirror in front of their face, which is why it bothers them. It has nothing to do with you. It really has everything to do with them, but you're not going to convince them of that in that moment. They want you to be with them. They want you to join them on that drinking wagon. They don't want to feel like they're doing something wrong. And if everybody else around them is doing that, it must mean it's right. They don't want someone else there to show them that they can do better by not drinking. And again, who cares, right? You don't care if they're drinking. Why do they care if you are? It's something deep with them. It has nothing to do with you. And you definitely don't want confrontation, right? Anytime you say, why does it bother you so much that I'm not drinking? They're going to get defensive. And there's probably going to be some sort of confrontation. You're probably thinking, do they think I'm better than them? Are they worried that I'm better? It isn't you. It isn't you.
It's your ego wanting justification.
It's your ego wanting to let it go. Let them deal with whatever it is they're dealing with. You're on your journey. Stay in your lane. They have to stay in their lane. When they start swinging over into your lane and wondering why you're not doing something and there's a negative connotation about it, that's them. That's on them. If they want to be in your lane, let them be smelling the fumes from behind you. You keep on going. Keep on going. Let them stay behind. My friends, that's where I'm going to end things today. I feel like we could go on and on and on with this, but Carrie, this is all about your boundaries. You have to set your boundaries, and it isn't up to you if they have boundaries, but you have to have yours, and they have to respect your boundaries. And again, like I say, I've gone through circles of different friendships in my lifetime when people couldn't respect my boundaries. I cannot be around people who don't respect my boundaries. The people who I used to hang out with at the bar, the people who I used to drink, I can't even tell you the amount of alcohol I used to drink with my girlfriends. Those girlfriends aren't my friends anymore. You have to, when you're growing and learning, times change. And sometimes you outgrow people. It's hard. but it's a necessity if you want to continue to grow in your journey. Thank you, my friend. I know it's not easy. People make it seem so easy, like you're just going to start on this journey path and everything's going to fall into place and everybody's going to want to come with you. Doesn't work. I wish it worked like that, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Michelle, you're so right on this. It's a great book. Yes, you know what? I think I'm going to find that book. I'm going to put it in the comments, and I think maybe we'll start doing some lessons on that. Thank you so much. My friends, I love you all. Remember, this is your journey, and you do not have to do anything. Tina, the toughest people who don't respect your boundaries are your parents and your siblings. You know, I think it all depends on, right? I found friends. I found my friends who used to drink with me. They were the hardest ones to break those boundaries with. My family love and support me, and it wasn't always easy, but it gets easier in time when they learn that you aren't really going back. All right, my friends, I love you all. Join Coach Chuck at noon for his noon nugget. I'll be back. Chuck and I will both be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Maybe we'll keep this ball rolling. Who knows? Who knows? So many great things come from these conversations. I love you all, my friends. Go out and have a fantastic Thursday.